stopping climate change is really important, but it isn't just climate change. We've violated many other boundaries of the whole Earth system. We're going into the 6th extinction of life on Earth as a result of human activities. And this book talks about that. The author is an eco-socialist who argues that capitalism is the cause and eco-socialism is the cure. So it's a really good book. I just finished reading it, and we'll be having a lively discussion about that in December.
I just finished it too. It's a great book. I recommend it.
Yeah, Ian Angus. Yeah, he runs a website called Climate and Capitalism, which is really interesting. Okay, and I'll just tell you a little bit about the next 2 months after that. In January, first Sunday in January, we'll be discussing a book called Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who is a Potawatomi woman. It may not sound exactly like a book about climate change, but it is, and it may be the most important book we've read for creating solutions to the climate crisis and bringing indigenous wisdom into what we do. And in February, our book is The Great Climate Robbery, How the Food System Drives Climate Change and What We Can Do About It. Between 44% and 57% of all the greenhouse gas emissions come from the food system. So come in February and discuss that book. These are all really good books. Come join us.
There are 2 more chairs right down here.
Braiding.
Several more chairs. Yeah, the chairs. 1, 2, 1, help yourself.
Just 1 or 2 more minutes, guys, before we get started. There's more chairs up here, everyone, if you want to sit. Please just make your way up here to other seats.
Hello everybody, we have one more announcement. Before we start, this program will end at 3:30, or it might actually go on a little longer considering that we're starting late. right after this program, there is a fundraiser for KPXQ that's going to be at Scarpino's. It lasts until 5. They're going to have a great raffle, secret, what do you call it?
Silent auction.
Silent auction. Silent auction, that's right. And it's to support our new radio station, which is really valuable. We can get a lot of information about the Diamond Pipeline out on this radio station. So after this, please go over to Scarpino's to support the.
It does cost $10.
It does cost $10.
Shelley.
Well, everyone, welcome. I know that everyone here has a heart for protecting our Earth, and we can work together on building this team up here in Arkansas to fight the Arkansas Diamond Pipeline. So, without spending any more time, I would like to introduce Edward. Just to tell you a little bit about Edward, one of the things that I like about him, if some of you who don't know Edward, is that he walks. He actually walks, and he rides his bicycle as much as possible. You know, just to stop the reliance on using gas, right? Because it's important that we cut off our reliance on gas as much as possible. And that's one of the inspiring things that I like about Edward. And he's also very good at working with wood art, building with wood and so forth. I've been blessed to have a chance to work with him in the past, and I give you Edward. He's going to present the information about
So, I'm not really a public speaker, and so if people can't hear me, let me know and I'll do my best to speak up.
So is it the same thing?
You already got the word.
Louder?
Yeah.
So the presentation is originally was scheduled to be for the Climate Change Book Club. The Climate Change Book Club, which was started with the Omni Center for Peace, Justice, and Equality, who Dick Bennett is the founder of, has been reading, reviewing, and discussing books mostly related to the environment and climate change for about 10 years. It's been a learning experience for me. There's some, I try to surround myself with people who are more knowledgeable than I am, and it's a good place to do that. So if you heard a little bit about future presentations, and if you have any interest, please participate. The change is happening now. Whether your personal struggle is to be involved to oppose combined animal feeding operations, to work towards agricultural reform, to fight to protect our waterways, or to accelerate the transition from fossil fuels, we're all engaged in the same battle. Our goal is to change this nation's course and that of the global community from one of plunder and excess to that of living within the limits of nature. We must act to preserve the ecosystem of this, the only planet that we have been afforded the opportunity to inhabit. My motivation to participate in this presentation was the realization that the time for words and wishes has long passed, and that we as a people must fight to change our relationship to the natural world. Over the past 10 years, participants in this discussion group have gained a deeper understanding of the many crises we face. The time has come for direct actions to stop and reverse the corporate takeover of our world. We're being trampled by corporate interests whose bottom line profits are the only measure instituted in decisions that affect the very future of humanity. We must recognize how we as individuals are complicit in the devastation we face. Each time we drive to a destination that we could have easily walked or bicycled to, we are playing into the hands of the fossil fuel industry. When we make unnecessary trips or fail to consolidate travel, or fail to arrange carpools when we know others will be heading to the same destination, we're failing to make the necessary changes that would help slow the destruction of our ecosystem. What we eat, how our food is produced, and the myriad other daily decisions we make have an impact on our shared future. Change is always difficult, but if we who understand the challenges we face are unable to change our own behaviors, how can we expect those who are less informed to do so? Our challenge is to develop specific actions to take on the corporations and industries who would sell our future and that of our children and grandchildren for the sake of their own bottom line. While I support the carbon fee and dividend program that the Citizens Climate Lobby is fighting for, I believe that waiting for a bought and paid off Congress to pass it may lead to too little and too late. So we're having a call for action. That's the topic of this presentation. How can we prevent the Diamond Pipeline from being built in our own backyard? Water is life, and if we allow this and many other proposed pipelines to be built, we're only accelerating the process of drilling, pumping, and burning the resources that scientists tell us we cannot burn without exceeding the carbon budget that we must remain within to stave off the most severe consequences of climate change. The proposed pipeline would cross the entire width of Arkansas, initiated in Cushing, in the oil terminal in Cushing, Oklahoma, to the west, and heading across this entire state to Memphis in the east. While it's estimated to have an $11 million annual impact on local communities along the route, our experience with other pipelines and with fracking show that the problems exceed the benefits to communities in the long run. An initial benefit is the $47 million sale of pipe to be produced by Wellspun. The company has a large, Wellspun is an Indian company and they're manufactured in Little Rock. The company has a large inventory of unused pipe, and they were very disappointed in the demise of the Keystone Pipeline, for which they would have manufactured pipe. Who were the key players who created this pipeline? Plains All-American in August 2014 announced plans for the Diamond Pipeline from Cushing to Memphis. San Antonio-based Valero, who I believe is the largest refiner in the United States, and Plains All-American initiated the construction of the Diamond Pipeline with little public awareness in August 2016. By this time, the joint venture had already secured the rights of way with Arkansas regulators, allowing the properties needed for construction to be taken by eminent domain. Arkansas Code OMNI350. The Arkansas Public Service Commission on August 18 held a 2016 held a 15-minute hearing on the evidence presented prior to the approval of the pipeline by Judge Susan Diocchio. The commission consists of 3 members appointed at the behest of the governor. I was shocked to find that the requirements to serve on the Arkansas Public Service Commission are that a person may not be a convicted felon and that at least one of the 3 appointed by the governor be an attorney. Recent pipeline history in Arkansas. On March 29, 2013, the Pegasus ExxonMobil pipeline spilled 5,000 barrels of diluted bitumen crude oil in Mayflower, Arkansas. Having had our awareness raised by the devastating Mayflower leak, it might have been possible to organize and resist the Diamond Pipeline if only we had a media and a government that served the public interest. If a thorough environmental assessment had been made and the public informed, taking into consideration the dramatic increases in seismic activity in both Oklahoma and Arkansas, we might have been able to stop the pipeline in its tracks. In May of 2015, a natural gas pipeline in Little Rock exploded, spewing 4 million cubic feet of gas into the Arkansas River. On October 25th of 2016, a pipeline in the vicinity of Cushing, Oklahoma, and this is 2 weeks ago, had a leak shutting down the pipeline. little information on the cause of this leak has yet been released. All pipelines leak. You know, some leak sooner, depending on the company, the pipe manufacturer, and the quality of the installation, but they all leak. Facts that you should know about the Diamond Pipeline. The Diamond Pipeline is a 20-inch diameter pipeline. The route is 440 miles, capable of transporting 200,000 barrels of domestic sweet crude oil per day to the Valero refinery in Memphis, Tennessee. The underground pipeline will pass through 5 watersheds, cross approximately 500 bodies of water, including streams and rivers, and will cross 11 drinking water sources in Arkansas. It would cross the Illinois Bayou, the White, St. Francis, and Mississippi rivers. Oklahoma is rife with earthquake activity due to dramatic increases in fracking in many areas around the state. In addition to fracking in Arkansas, our state feels some of the quakes related to Oklahoma caused by deep well injection of fracking fluid waste. Approximately 1,500 contract construction jobs will be created across Arkansas and Oklahoma during the construction phase. Many workers will come from other states, and only 15 permanent jobs will remain upon completion of the construction in late 2017. The estimated cost to build the pipeline is $1 billion, more or less. The Dakota Access Pipeline is 30 inches in diameter and estimated to cost $3.4 billion. Pipelines of this scale are being built all around the country. When the XL pipeline was stopped, the oil industry already had plans and pipelines in their pipeline to get that same oil to the refineries and to get that same oil to export markets. I can't help but think of just the $4.5 billion or so for these 2 pipelines, how far that might get us in a small state like Arkansas towards developing solar and wind energy and alternatives. The industry insists that pipelines are safe, but ruptures and leaks are daily occurrences. Since 2010, over 3,300 incidents of crude oil and liquefied natural gas leaks or ruptures have occurred in U.S. pipelines. These incidents have killed 80 people, injured 389 more, and cost $2.8 billion in damages. They also release toxic polluting chemicals into local soil, into waterways, and into the air. Violations. Plains All American and its subsidiaries have reported 223 accidents along their pipelines since 2006. Those accidents resulted in a combined 864,300 gallons of spilled hazardous liquids, with damages estimated at $32 million and with 25 enforcement actions by federal regulators. The company, Plains All American, has the 5th highest number of significant pipeline accidents among all the U.S. pipeline operators since 2006. The company is currently under 46 indictments in California following a 2015 spill near Santa Barbara. Since the Diamond Pipeline opposition was formed, it has been difficult to integrate all the information that has come to me. Just last week, there was another pipeline explosion in Alabama. While it's difficult to confirm at this stage, as most of the plans are hidden from public scrutiny for as long as possible, it has come to my attention that there is a strong likelihood that much of the oil refined in the Memphis terminal will be shipped and burned in overseas markets. To the climate, it matters not where fossil fuels are burned. When Senator Sanders called for a revolution, tens of millions responded to his call. He told us that it was not about him, but about a future that we could believe in. Please join the pipeline opposition. since I began, this information keeps coming in from sources, from people that I don't know, people in Little Rock, people in Russellville. I just got a phone call yesterday from Louis Contreras outside of Eureka Springs. And it was really hard to put it all together because it's just ongoing. You know, there are more leaks. We read about them in the paper on a daily basis. But I particularly wanted to thank Joyce Hale, who put together the PowerPoint and assisted in the writing and editing, and of course Lay and Jan Shaper, who sent valuable information. I don't know that I know her, but you know, the emails keep pouring in, and if we'd had more time, we could have done a better presentation. Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you.
Are you going to ask questions?
Yeah. Oh, you have more.
Well, let's save the questions until the end, everyone. Our goal for this presentation is to do it in the most simple and understandable way as much as possible, so other people will be able to understand it, right? We want to reach the mass population out there and present them this information in a simple format. And the PowerPoint presentation that's being created today, it will be sent out throughout the state, region, and national level, right? So that way, people can share about the diamond pipeline with their neighbors, their local communities, and so forth. Our national team, we have like a business card, right? And then we just hand it out to people. Well, you know, that's a good way of reaching out to people, but but sometimes people just leave those business cards on the side and just forget about those business cards. I feel a face-to-face interaction is better. It's the best form of communication. And if we can get other people in the other local communities to present this to their local communities, you know, on a face-to-face level, I think that's the best way. So that's our long-term project. Yes.
Is anybody going live right
Yes,
now?
We are.
Yeah, we are live
Is
streaming
it
this.
posted on the pipeline so we can repost it? So there's a lot of other people who want to know.
We will
it's
take
on.
care of that. It's going to be a
Awesome.
hashtag SDP, Stop the Diamond Pipeline.
Excellent.
So I'd like to challenge you just from Edward's basic presentation here. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to offer something because I had compiled a map of Arkansas that overlaid the watersheds as determined by the Arkansas Natural Resources Commission. So it's even more evident to people the damage that's possible.
What is your name?
Quinn, Montana.
Quinn?
Quinn.
Quinn.
Yes.
Is it okay if we wait till the end?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, just
I just wanted
for
to be
any
sure that
additional
people,
questions
you know, to show-
or comments or presentations or sharing of ideas, let's wait till the end. We're just trying to get this in the most effective way possible because our time limit ends here at 3:30. With that being said, I'd like to challenge each and every one of you in November on a national level, we're trying to boycott any kind of gas, right? Any kind of gas consumption. I know that's impossible to do, but if we have it in our hearts to make that effort to just reduce our gas consumption, that would be great. And the money that you save from reducing that gas consumption, please consider donating just at least $3.20 to stop the diamond pipeline, because we need just to stand up together and help financially. You know, just $3.20 from each person will help and go a long way.
Where do you donate that?
If you don't have Facebook, yeah, some of us don't have Facebook. Get with Gladys and talk with her about it.
Like, I have a lot of that information that I'm going to share.
Yes. And then, you know, this is Melissa.
Hi,
I'm going to
guys.
introduce Melissa. She's going to do the PowerPoint on coalition building and why it's important.
I've got your names, your numbers, your email address, everything ready for you.
And you know,
Y'all ready for this?
and I just met Melissa within this past week over social media. We are so thankful for social media, and I felt her positive energy, and we connected right away. She has a heart full of passion that's on fire, and she's going to get everyone excited about joining the local, state, and national level.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
this is Melissa.